Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back on F1 2020, but we are going to be talking about something very, very different here today. Normally I only focus on the gameplay or the commentary of the league race that I'm doing, but today there's been big news, and if you've been living under a rock, that it's EA Games, Electronic Arts, have decided to buy out Codemasters for $1.2 billion, otherwise known as just over £700,000. And this is massive because this means the future of the Formula 1 games can change forever in a very good or in a very, very bad way. And that's what we're really going to be discussing today. And the main point of this video is really to just get your opinions on what you think, because at the end of the day, people like you and me are the people that help these companies and businesses function. Without people buying their games, there would be no business or anything whatsoever. So let's go into it. EA Games, who are they? They're an American company based in California. Nice place. And they were founded in 1982. So 38 years they've been going on for. So for quite some time. And you will probably know them best as managing games such as EA Sports FIFA, Battlefield, Apex Legends, The Sims, Maiden NFL, Need for Speed, Titanfall, Plants vs Zombies, you name it. They have acquired many gaming titles, but they are worth around $40 billion, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. But what is the current consensus on them? Because with this news, there's been a lot of contrasting opinion. Some saying it's exactly what the Formula 1 games need. But there are a lot of people saying that this is the end of the Formula 1 games. This is probably the worst thing that could happen to them. This is the worst company that could take over from them. Because having a little bit of a dive in to EA, because I've only really played EA FIFA or FIFA. That's the only game I've really played from them. They were voted the worst company for 2 years in a row in America in 2013. They are currently the worst in customer satisfaction from a gaming developer in America. But the big thing that a lot of people are really complaining about is that they are purely driven by microtransactions, and they feel the Formula 1 games are just going to be another ATM machine for EA, because in the last year, or in the last 12 months, they have made $2.83 billion for microtransactions, which is, a pretty big number, I think. And I think it's safe to say that EA, when they are going to take over the Formula 1 games, it's not if, they are going to do it, that the future of Formula 1 games are probably going to be heavily linked with microtransactions. I think that's probably a fair comment to make, and a lot of people are really worried about this because they feel that you will have to pay a lot of money to get all the features that you want. They unlock the fundamental parts of the games and everything as well. That's what a lot of people are really worried about. But what are the benefits that EA can bring to the Formula 1 games? And I think the number one thing is obviously with the profits that they make and the net worth, the amount of funding and resources that they have to hand is far beyond what Codemasters currently do have to hand. And I think, in my personal opinion, I feel that's probably something that they have really desperately needed for a very long time. Because Codemasters, the developer, they've been going on for such a long time now. I know a lot of these guys personally. I've been playing their games for as long as I can remember. And games such as 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, the Formula 1 games, Race Driver Grid, TOCA Race Driver 1, 2. They've made so many good games. And even the games today, there are so many things that I love about it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be playing them whatsoever. But what I do feel is, and this is something that I'm interested to hear what everyone here thinks, because again, I'm just going to be completely transparent. I feel in the last few years particularly, the games have not developed in the way that they should. They haven't evolved, and it feels too much of the same. It feels, without jumping into the stereotype, it feels like it's a bit of a copy and paste each year where nothing has really changed. We had a few different helmets now and again. The tracks have looked the same. The tracks aren't consistent. We've had the same glitches appear in the games for years on end. We've introduced a My Team this year, but in my opinion, it's just a career mode where you just change the colours of your race suit and the car liveries and add a few sponsors. That's it. Nothing else changed. There's no story element to it. There's no immersion to it. Immersion that they had in the previous games. And I don't know if that's because of the demands of the gaming industry. They had more time, because obviously they're acquiring other titles now, such as Dirt Rally, which has been a big success for them, and other games as well. I think the demand of the gaming industry has really hindered their progression in terms of evolving the Formula 1 games. And Formula 1 is one of the biggest watched motorsport, or one of the biggest sports in the world as an audience. And with the rise of esports as well, the pressure is just, and the value in this market is just going up so much. So I feel they haven't been able to deal with the demands as much as they want to attend the people's feedback and the frustration. They can't do anything about it. They don't have the personnel or resources or the funding to do it. I think in terms of the talent and the passion, that's not a question. I think they definitely do have that, and I've seen that firsthand, which a lot of people don't see. But I think this is ultimately a lifeline for them. And it sounds to me, looking at these reports, that EA are going to be working with the current team at Codemasters in trying to help bring these games to the next level completely. So I feel this is an opportunity. It can give a brand new, fresh perspective onto the game, and it will give them the resources and the funding, basically the tools they need to build this game to a new level. And I really hope that is the case. I really hope that they do work with the current team at Codemasters, because I think they have the right idea. They just have not had the tools to be able to do it. And I think the game just needs a fresh reboot completely at this stage. A lot of people are also fearing that the games will become much more arcade, but I think it's fair to say at this point the games aren't a pure simulation anyway at this point. But I think my biggest concerns is that as long as the microtransactions are for cosmetic things and not for key fundamental parts of the game, and the game still offers a very big skill gap and a good challenge, then that is the main thing. But I feel we definitely need a fresh start on this game, because I feel it just hasn't evolved the way it should do, or it should have in the past few years. So my thoughts, I think it is definitely needed, and I think the games weren't performing at the level they should be, and this is just an opportunity now to bring it to a new level. And I know a lot of people have comments about the EA games that they are not good enough themselves, but at least I feel you have the resources and the funding, and hopefully with Codemasters working alongside them, they could have dedicated servers. It'd be much more online focused. The game might feel a bit more completed when it's actually released as well, and the good areas of the game will stay there and they will keep improving through Codemasters' input. So I just really want to hear what your perspectives are on this. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? I was just interested in just having this discussion, really, and I'll try not to let this video drag on for too long. So let me know what your thoughts are of this takeover, and I will catch you very soon. Peace.
We grow, we go.